how much is too much? What I mean when I say that is when you're ready to start a whole life insurance policy, you're interested in the cash value because you like the safety, liquidity, and also the tax advantages. You're trying to figure out how much you should fund your policy with every year. How much is too much? Meaning, you think you can hit a certain dollar amount, but you're not quite sure if you can get that much in. Is there a drawback to getting a policy that's too big or biting off more than I can chew? For example, I'm operating my business. I think I'm going to make $10 million a year. I can throw it all into a policy. So I get a policy that can accommodate that funding. And then I make 1/10 of what my target amount was. I'm unable to fund my policy at the dollar amount I thought I could. And then I find out it negatively impacts my cash value growth. Say, oh man, if I could go back in time, I definitely would have done things differently. So that's what we'll talk about in today's video and how we helped someone decide on the exact dollar amount that they wanted to start their policy with. So we've got someone that understands the core benefits of the cash value. They're interested in a policy, but they're trying to figure out how much they want to fund their policy with. They're interested in funding for 5 years. Initially, we looked at 5 to 10 years, but they said that 5-year number I like a lot. So what they're interested in is option A, funding a policy with $30,000 per year, which they know they can hit. They're very confident in being able to fund $30K per year. Or B, $50,000 per year, which they think they can hit for a couple years, but every single year, I'm unsure about that. So that would definitely be a stretch, which some people like. If I can stretch and hit that number, I felt like I set a goal and accomplished it. I've got more money compounding for me. If my income continues to go up, it's all well and good. But what if I don't hit it? Because life does happen. How much will it cost me to go with that high-end option? For example, if you pick $50K, but can only get a maximum of $30,000 in there, how much less will you have in cash value if you would have went with option A? Does that make sense? We're going to look at some examples here. So we're going to look at the numbers side by side, but we'll start with an overview up here. So we've got option A, highlighted in yellow. What do you see? $30,000 per year. Where's your money going in this option? You've got 10% toward the premium. This is what she is committed to. $3,000 per year, that's the minimum commitment. The additional $27K goes into PUAs. It's also very flexible, so she is not obligated to pay that every year. However, she's quite confident she can. So max funding a policy where we've got a 10% premium and we're 10xing that every single year, that is going to maximize the cash value. And you'll see that. It'll have the earliest break-even point, a strong internal rate of return. That's how we maximize the cash value of a policy. Then we've got option B, which from a design standpoint or a ratio standpoint, is there any difference right now? No. You've got $50,000 total going in. You've got a $5,000 minimum, and we're illustrating $45,000 going into PUAs. Add the two together, it's $50K. It's exactly the same as option A, just with $50,000 going in instead of $30,000. Here's what I would look at right here. What if I go with option B, so it's a policy that's equipped to handle $50K per year. I lock that premium in at $5,000. I think I can hit a total of 50, but it turns out I cannot. The maximum PUA I add on top of the 5 is another 25. So my total out of pocket is $30K per year with the option that allowed for 50. So I bit off more than I can chew. How much does that hurt me? See where I'm going? Let's take a look. So we've got the illustrations up. Option A, 30K max. What do you see? You see the minimum, 3,000. You see the PUA rider, 27,000. Then you see annual funding, which is her net out of pocket, 30K per year. First year cash value, 26.5. Total funding tallies up all years. Break even point, year 4, when she's got more in cash value than what she's paid into the policy. After the 5th year, she adds nothing. So total out of pocket is $150. Okay. Next option. the 50K option. So this is funding 50K per year. We want to show both policies and what they look like if she max funds them both. So the break-even point, when is it? It's year 4. Same point in time as the option to the left. If we add a rate of return column to both of these, you'll notice that the returns will almost be identical because we've got a policy where we've got the same ratios, the same 10% premium for both of them, and we're max funding the cash value year in and year out. That's why the break even is year 4 in both of them. However, what does this look like? That's the question. So if she chooses option B, but pays less into the PUA rider, 25 instead of 45, so a total of 30, what I want to compare are these two. What's the difference here? We can already see the break-even point's year 5 instead of year 4. Here's how I like to compare them. Cash value difference column. You know what? Why don't we do 2 columns? CV difference, DB difference. DB stands for death benefit, the actual amount of life insurance. Let's make this text a little bit bigger. I want it to pop out. Equals cash value, option to the right, compared to option to the left. This help with the ease of making decisions? Does for me. Takes all of the emotion out and lets me see the numbers plain as day. So, how much does it cost me to go with the larger policy and not fund more than 30K per year? Because your out of pocket in these two are identical. 30K per year for 5, total of 150. The difference here, we see by year 5, $3,800 when you've paid in 150K. 15 years in, $7,000 difference in cash value, $14,000 in death benefit. Personally, I don't think it's that much. I would select option B because it gives me room to add more than 30K per year, up to 50K. And if I think there's a good chance I can do that for a couple years, it doesn't have to be every year, even just 1 year. Getting more money into this policy will enhance it further, and I'll see more cash value because I would have put more in. But there's not enough of a difference there for me personally to pick option A. You might look at that and disagree. You might say, hey, that is a lot. I put in 150, another $5,000 there. Like, that's very valuable to me. So I would pick option A because I've got more cash value from start to finish. She actually did pick option A. She said, I'll start with this. And if I find myself really wanting to pay in more than 30 per year, I'll just get another policy. And I'm comfortable starting over again. That does not bother me at all. That's how I would prefer to start. But seeing it side by side really helps bring clarity to the decision. I hope this helped. Let us know if you have any questions at all. And as always, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon. Hey guys, Steve here with IBC Global. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you're interested in a whole life insurance policy and you'd like to work with our company in setting it up, please visit our website, ibcglobalinc.com. We would love to work with you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And as always, I hope this helps.